is the life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, it doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all, I had a feeling but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all, I had a feeling but the feeling is all gone.
Today we're in the Circle Garden, and I thought we would just do a tour of the Circle Garden specifically because there's so many different plants in here and everything is just really looking quite good right now. Now, I have already cut the chive hedge back once. It bounced back probably to about 7 inches tall within a week. Within 2 weeks, it was completely filled in again. I will probably get sporadic bloom again, and I may cut it back a third time this year. Just to keep it nice and fresh looking. It does look better. You know, it does look better when it's a little greener and a little bit more turgid. So we're just gonna walk around the Circle Garden here and take each section by section. And you should refer back to the video that I did when I was planting this, which actually wasn't that long ago, so you can kind of see the theory of the Circle Garden. So this first section here, we've got a big collection of Calendula here. Now this is Calendula cantaloupe mix, and you can see that it's a whole bunch of colors. I don't usually plant seed mixes because I like to know exactly what I'm getting. This is really pretty. The only problem is that the Calendula has sort of started to flop over the chives a little bit, but it's still sort of a natural look. It looks pretty good. I do try to sort of stand them up, but once Calendula stems get bent, they don't like to stand up that much. As you come around here in the front, this is Jewels of Opar. Now these are the tiny little seedlings you saw me planting. I am in love with this plant. It has done everything I could have ever hoped a plant would do. It's sort of a very succulent leaf, and it's this gorgeous chartreuse. It's a really nice height for this area, and you can see that it's just starting to bloom. With these tiny, this is almost, it'll be kind of a pink baby's breath type flower once it's fully in bloom, but it's just starting to put those up. But I love that those are nice and airy with this great chartreuse background. And then over here, we have a dahlia that's new to me this year, and I'm so in love with it. This is Joey Morella, and this is a flower that's just starting to open up with that orange center. And then it kind of moves on to this, which is a full ball. I mean, it's wrapped, those petals wrap all the way around. And then as they fade out, they fade to the most lovely sort of ombre situation there. It's just beautiful. It's a nice height. I do have most of these staked because they're right at that height where if I didn't stake them, they would flop over. So I think staking probably is a good idea for this variety, but really in love with those dark flowers. So that is section number 1. Then we come over to this next section. So here, these are Bobo hydrangeas. There are either 5 or 6 of these here. I wouldn't need so many. You can see they're really packed in there, but they do put on such an amazing show. Now some of these, normally Bobo would be covered, every single stem would have a flower on it. The ones that don't have flowers on them are undoubtedly places where the deer browsed on this. I do get a little bit of deer browse on this. Winter deer browse is okay because it blooms on new wood, but deer browse in spring will lead to either delayed blooms on those stems or no blooms on those stems. In the front here, we have a combination that is unexpectedly good. This is lemon coral sedum, and this is a black heart sweet potato vine. And this is such a simple combination. I didn't expect it to be as good as it is. But it really filled in this area well. What a nice and inexpensive way to fill in to fill in an area really nicely. And then lastly, we have over here, this is all Nicotiana Langsdorffii. There's actually a couple of alatas stuck in the middle that must have gotten confused, wrong label. But I do love this Nicotiana. Now this is big, and you can tell that it's sort of listing a little bit this way. So far it's not a problem, but if it decides to tip over, I might have to figure out a way to stand it up. But I love how this looks with all these little nodding chartreuse bells in here. Moving around over here, in this segment I've got Lady's Mantle planted, and you can see that the flowers now have sort of faded. They're not terrible looking, but they're not that really pretty chartreuse color that you like to see. So I have two options now. I can either cut the flowers off, or I can cut the entire plants back, and they will flush with new blooms. But one or the other needs to happen here real soon. So here in the front, this is Thai basil, which I am growing. Thai basil is delicious, by the way, but I'm growing it specifically for these beautiful purple flowers, which are the perfect match for this dahlia. This is HS Flame. I plant this dahlia in this spot every year because I love it. And I mean, look at those flowers against this almost black foliage, and it just plays so well with the purple flowers on the Thai basil. So, I mean, I would say this is a great lesson in this garden about planting edibles as ornamentals, because of course we have the chive hedge, and then we've got this this obviously edible basil, which I think just looks beautiful in that spot. Also, I grew that from seed, so really inexpensive plant to mass plant an area. And then as we come around, we come to this final area. Now this is the area where I got a little crazy this year, but I always have the rhubarb here. The rhubarb is starting to flag a little bit. I mean, I do pull off some yellow leaves. It's just a tough time for rhubarb. It needs a lot of water. The leaves that are there are pretty. It fills in this spot. Let me just walk around this way. Over here we have the Almond roses. All of these have had one flush of bloom, so they're just starting to flush out. Again, I'll get sporadic blooms on them. Honestly, they weren't that great this year. They were okay. They weren't fabulous. And then this area is where I planted this Senecio, angel wings, the lemon licorice plant, and then the white verbena. I'm really liking how this goes. The one thing I would say is that it is more difficult than I anticipated to keep that white verbena in flower. It really wants to go out of flower, and I only fertilize anything that grows in the ground only gets fertilized with an organic fertilizer. So organic fertilizers take a little bit to do their thing. So I think, you know, I don't know. I mean, I still love the texture of the white verbena. Just a little frustrated that I can't keep it in bloom a little bit better. So those are all the sections. And then in the middle, if you can just kind of come around again, here in the middle, this is where we have the Clematis. Now these poor Clematis have had a bout with rabbits this year. In fact, everything in my garden has had a bout with rabbits this year. But this is the main one you're seeing here is Selena. What a good flowering one. This has been flowering now for at least 3 weeks, probably more. And interplanted in here for this few stems that are left, because the rabbits ate the other ones at the bottom. This is Giselle, this little pink one. The combination was really pretty before the rabbits came in here and did their nasty deeds, but this looks good. And again, these Clematis won't climb this tower. I just have to sort of weave them in, and you can see that I've actually used a little bit of twine in some places. And you know, I just have to sort of, you just kind of bend them around where you want them to make it look good, which I do with a lot of Clematis. And then there's one other thing I just wanted to quick show you over here. So right here is a double ruffled red poppy. And this is an exercise in what poppies will do. So poppies grew in this garden maybe 10 years ago. That's the last time I purposely grew them here. Poppy seeds will continue to come up for years and years and years, and you never know where they're going to pop up. So I'm going to pull this because I don't want red poppies in this garden. So I'm not going to let it go to seed, but it's sort of cute there right now. And I just wanted to leave it there to show you what poppies can do, which is that they will pop up years either after you've planted them or years after they've been allowed to self-seed in the strangest places, including places where they were many, many, many years before. So that's the circle garden. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing it. This is just a quick little spot in the garden, but it is looking really nice right now, and I just wanted to catch it when it was looking good. So I hope you're having a good day in your garden, and come back for more tours because there's more coming.
If I could take you back to my youth and show you what I wish I knew. My will is strong with a place to lean. In the moment I hung desperately. The other ring on my wrist is gold, pairing with the light it holds. When I return from my skin and bones, I'm remembering the words you told me. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone.